There is a certain kind of educator who seeks out my training, who wants something that I can't give. The thing they want is they want a step-by-step approach to teaching kids about executive functions in a way that will ensure that the kids, when they get it in this order, will grow in their skills and abilities and be able to take action and be able to follow through and be able to do the learning that they need to do. And here's the problem. Students are human. Humans are beautiful and complex and varied, and human students are raised up in families and in communities that are unique and different, and every student needs something that's not quite like what the other student needs. And so it's tricky, isn't it? Classroom teachers, it's tricky to teach English standards or social studies standards or science standards when you know that students are this unique. So this issue came up for me in the Alternatives to Policing workshop that I attended back at the end of June. And it came up because, so we were learning from an organization called Mental Health First. There's a link to that information about that organization below. They're doing fabulous community work in Sacramento, and they are starting a new chapter in Oakland, California, which is where I live, which is why I was attending this community training. And one of the things that they said, like, people kept on asking all these questions, like, what if, like, I was in a situation where I was walking down the street and I noticed this guy who was blah, 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 blah. Or what if I'm in my apartment and I look outside and I see blah, 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 blah. What do I do if I don't call the police? And every answer was, well, you head out. If you feel safe, you get somebody else. You never go alone, first of all, but you go with somebody else and establish rapport with the person, assuming that it looks like you will be safe. But then after that, there are no checklists. There's not a for sure, like, first do this, then do this, then do that. And this jumped out at me because the same is true for academic coaching. There are no checklists. Students are unique and need tools that meet their unique needs in the unique order that they need them. And so that's one of the reasons why I like to teach about executive function and teach about study skills, time management, organization, and self-advocacy using what I call the toolbox metaphor. Because I like to fill students' toolboxes with all kinds of different tools, which means that I need to fill educators' toolboxes with all kinds of different tools for time management, organization, study skills, and self-advocacy. But then once people have those tools, it's up to, like, if you're a teacher, it's up to you in your relationship with your students, or in your relationship with the one student who you're meeting after school with. If you're a coach, it's up to you to determine what your individual student might need in that moment. There really are no checklists. This is a real bummer for some of you who want checklists, but it's really exciting for those of you who really appreciate that I not only give you the tools, but I teach you how to think about what tool does the student need and how to set the student up to be more motivated, to be open to learning the tools that you decipher they may need in that moment. And because this is the last video in this summer 2020 series, I want to bring you back to this whiteboard. We have been discussing some tenets of self-determination theory. And according to this theory, there are certain conditions that, when they are present in a learning environment or in a community, students are more motivated to take action, and take action at higher levels of competency and higher levels of ability. And those conditions are autonomy. I used the word competency already, but I'll use it again here. Competency, like being able to actually feel like you can do, you're capable of doing the things that are being asked of you. And then you would think on the 6th video, I would have erased this and spelled it correctly, but I didn't. So relatedness, when they feel connected to the person they're with. And I am very interested in helping grow coaches and teachers' ability to create the conditions in your coaching sessions and classrooms where these 3 ways of being are prominent, so that students feel more excited and capable and at choice about taking advantage of the tools in the toolbox that you're offering them. So if that's exciting to you, there are many links down below that will meet you where you're at. Perhaps you haven't dived one of those 2 into my free courses, or maybe you have, but now the time is right. It's August 2020, and you would like to fill your own toolbox with strategies for this upcoming school year. So if that's the case, click on some of the links below, and next week, which is the 2nd week in August 2020, we're going to officially start our school year. So I'll see you then.